Welcome back to CTA Next Gen, where we have myself, Morewa Maito, and Ancient of Days.
Sorry.
And we're here to put the tea.
I'm supposed to do
Yes,
it's being filled.
in
Okay.
CTA.
CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen.
Let's go on.
Before the break, we were talking about how everybody needs a dolly, how to get a dolly, how a dolly is not your savior. And you brought out a very important point on how you will be needed, and in somebody needing you, they will save you. So it's value for value. So even when somebody, if you're ever going to be helped out of a pit, there's an exchange. A transaction has to happen. That being said, now we are going back. Now we want to have a look at the interview. Now outside the details of the interview.
Okay.
So, for example, what was your greatest lesson after sitting down with Kendi?
That I'm on the right path. Candy, sometimes you live your life in a way that is not conventional. So Candy was very instructional. She lived her and lives her life according to instructions. So it's not a popular thing that you hear a lot of people saying about. So God gives her instructions and then she does. Before making a decision, she goes to God. Before this, that, the other, her and God, it's not a question. She's not just going to make moves without that. So my takeout from that CTA was that's stay on that path that you're on. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So what question do you wish you had asked her then? Like right now, what question do you wish you'd have asked her in that interview, but you didn't get to ask her?
So CTA is really cool. CTA has gotten me jobs. CTA has gotten me friends. CTA is not just the interview that I do. So Candy is like one of my closest people, friends. We in that season we spoke literally every other day, and maybe the year after that. Now we talk, and when we talk, we have very in-depth
Conversations.
conversations. So I've asked her all that I need as and when the time comes.
So you exhausted
Yeah.
that interview.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for me?
Yes. What was your takeout from the CTA?
From Kendi CTA? Like I said, breaking through life, it showed me, I love how you said an unconventional way, because there's the mainstream way of living, you go to school, you study for something, you get a job, after that job, you get a promotion, etc, etc. And then some people like myself, tunakuja tukiwa tumegongwa 10 na maisha, so we don't even qualify for that conventional path. So it was a lot of hope for me, showing me that there's a scripture that says God will make rivers flow in the desert. So hata kama nimegongwa 10 God will just turn the tables, and indeed the tables did turn. So yeah, that was my greatest take home.
What about what similarities have you seen in her life with yours thus far? Where's the tissue? Sianze kulia hapa. Sianze kulia hapa, please.
Zee, we the gangster guys. This is the gani. Well, to be honest, I don't even think I'm in a place where I can compare myself with Kendi, to be honest. I can say just the general nini of coming from, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So coming from a disadvantaged background, etc, etc. At the time I was listening to the interviews, unfortunately, pastors, brethren, and members of the faith, I have fallen far, far, far from grace. So back then, I was living instruction by instruction, so I could relate. In fact, it was very encouraging as a Christian, hearing somebody who's high in corporate talking about how, and then God told me, then God opened this door, then I met my supervisor, and, they also got fearing, because I didn't have that exposure at the time. Like, I thought, in corporate, you say God, and then it's off with your head. You understand? And it's just not because... because most workplaces are very, religiously neutral. So you're free to do whatever you want, but then don't bring it to work. So hearing Kendi talk about how God was first and foremost in everything, and he indeed never failed her, that was it was so encouraging. So I think I can relate with Kendi on the God matter. Unfortunately, now I'm God, oh, it's not easy. It's not been easy maintaining the faith in the point I am in life. I'm part of the faith, most definitely, but I'm not as obedient as I used to be.
25 for me was a big, as in, I'm like, guy, you're not a child anymore. 25, you're big, as in it's big. And then I reflect, I took time, I'm very reflective. I allowed myself to live through the decisions I had made throughout my life. And on that birthday, I told myself, up to here, you can have an excuse. Because up to 25, you can say I was not told. You can blame it on the family I was born in. You can blame it on so many other things.
Friends, kila kitu.
Everything. But 25, you are a legit adult. Any decision you make from this time forward is on you. That is, it's on me. Meaning, I needed to make the decision of, am I letting myself down again? Or am I showing up for myself? So my life, it is Kendi before 25 and Kendi after 25. That birthday, in agreement with God, who I had now, because I knew I'm born again. I went for fellowship, I went on my knees, I prayed, and I told him, from now on, I live for you. Now, make this work, and start with my friends.
Why is it a top watch for you?
The story.
Yeah.
Sasa unaona venye tables zinataningi huyu mtu. No, when ulikuwa
napata research.
Sasa now I'm already talking about vulnerable things that I didn't want to talk about. Why was it a top watch for me? The vulnerability. Like you said, Kendi came ready to share, and while as the viewers you may not have the words to express that, I can tell you when it was, I never wanted to put that story down. And then because you refused to put it here on Spotify.
Walipe. Go on.
So tuko huku na YouTube videos, unafua YouTube video inacheza, unaenda soko YouTube video inacheza. Like I remember Kendi was part of my life for an entire week. You get, so I even remember vividly that week. I remember where I was. I remember referring my friends to that story. I introduced that Muthoni is my best friend. I introduced Muthoni to CTA through Kendi. So I was like, no, we need to watch her. She loves God. She fears God. Da, 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 da. So for me, it's a top watch number one because of her vulnerability. And because of that vulnerability, it edifies you. You understand? She is not talking. And now it's even great to know that she was so vulnerable, she was afraid of releasing it. She had to hold on to it for an entire month after that. It's, what was my sentence before I said that? Because I go like this and then I confuse myself. No, there's a sentence and I've lost it.
You and Modoni, you even introduced Modoni into it.
Yeah, so yeah, that vulnerability, you're gaining life out of it. Yes, she wasn't telling the story to be braggadocious or maybe to add it to her LinkedIn profile that she'd sat on CTA. It was really empowering. You get, and imagine, Tebu just go watch it. Kwanza, go and listen to the way she talks like this. And then she's like, and even when she's shouting, and Richard, when I was going to say, and then Richard's like, my God. So it's definitely, it has to be my top 5, but I don't want to rank them because we have a lot to go through. But it's definitely my top 5.
Okay. Last question. What's your takeout today from that CTA? You could have taken out something at that time, and that's a thing that you needed for your life at that time. But maybe now we're talking and you're like,
Yes, like now looking back to it, I think it's Kendi's obedience and alignment to God. Look at you.
Okay. Okay, go.
Kendi's obedience and alignment to God. Like, I covet her relationship with God, and it's crazy that that's something I had at the the problem, I hate having these conversations and you're making me do this, because one thing I've realized with social media is when
You are coveting, go on.
Yes. But let me say why I have comes about going. Let me. Acha nikudivert. You're ruining my thingy. So, I've realized with social media, when I have a conversation, when I talk about something, I'm inviting a group of strangers to comment about that thing with me. You get? Now, because I put this content of this video, somebody in the comments will highlight maybe a certain part of the video because I put it. So conversations that I don't want the public to feel free to talk to me about, I most definitely do not touch. So you're making me touch conversations and I don't want to talk to the public about because I don't want to pass that there. But if you Tabu delete that comment, I can read your paragraph already. Somebody telling, yeah, Meg, you have walked away from the bruh. So back to this thingy, I covet her relationship with God, and it's something I had at the time, and it's something that they have been working back towards because leaving the church has its side effects. Nah, I'm gonna make this controversial. You asked for it.
No. I'm just... Nakunywa maji.
Sips water. Yeah, so it has its side effects, and on one side, in as much as I avoid the drama that comes with community, on the other side, I lose accountability. You understand? So I miss when I would, even before like making a connection or talking to somebody, I'll be like, God, is this person right for me? Or when I have a problem, my first thought is to pray about it. I still pray, but it's not as automatic. It's like when you've been to the gym and then you are lifting God knows how much and you build so much muscle and then you like have one cheat day and then that cheat day becomes two and then now you're sitting there and you and your belly button are making eye contact and you're like, wow, once upon a time.
Nothing.
Get back to you. So this conversation is just reminding me of that part and I'm like, yeah, that was nice, good old days.
Okay. So the thing that you liked, that you took and that you're still taking out of Candice CTA is the God factor.
It is the God factor. And there's just a peace with God. There's just an ease with God. Kendi is the testament that in as much as, yes, the Bible does say we will suffer, it's not necessarily written down that it's financial suffering or systemic suffering or Christians have to be, the bottom of society. You understand? We have Christians in leadership. And I don't mean Christian as the religious brand, but people who are serious, they that know their God. You understand? They shall be strong and do exploits. So it's that reminder, and she doesn't have the mainstream religion. It's an intimate relationship with God. I remember even when she introduced herself, she said, I am Kenton Twigger, and above all else, I am God's child.
Yeah, that's deep. You nakumbuka mpaka intro.
Nakumbuka, because it took me aback, like, mtu ameta. God's child, tell me more, even me I am. And then let me say this, most times, because I'm in that place when people ask me maybe how did you get to where you are, how do you do what you do, when I say it's God, people are usually like, saka kama huku utuambie usituambie. But then I'm like, do you know that's the best thing I can tell you? Because if I tell you it's connections, and trust me, it's not, even everything I have, it first came through God. If it's a connection, it came through God. If it's an ability, it came through God. So I am giving you the step one, God. You have access to that God. You don't have access to my connections. You don't have access to my talents. You don't have access to, your path is not mine. But the one thing that makes you and me, the one thing that we have in common and we have access to and everyone has access to is God. So when I say it is God, you should even rejoice. Because the same God I pray to is the same God you have access to. So that tells you, just like me, let me tell you, we will do this again. Do you know how broke I was when I was watching Kendi? And then when she said she was God's child, and I'm like, I'm also God's child. Let's switch the topic.
But I met you because of Kendi.
I did. You did.
Anyway, last question. Candi's chapter, there's a point where it now left Kenya and it went global. Mm-hmm. You're not there yet? Mm-hmm. Yet. But is that, was there anything aspirational that you took away out of that watch?
So that's the thing about CTAs, and I think that's why it's important to rewatch CTAs. I've never done that. Well, I watch CTAs the first time to be edified, and if I go back again, it's now work related, get a chair days, and now CTA Next Gen, Next Gen City. Wait, no, it's CTA Next Gen. No, he confused me. He says ChatGTP. Verbal dyslexia. So now it's imeningia. So don't catch my disease. It's CTA Next Gen. So
I was just chilling.
so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with with CTA, I watched it at that time and I was at a different point in life. And if I watch it now the global aspect would stand out for me. Because in fact, when I was summarizing my year, I don't know whether you want to share with them like the word that represents your 2026.
Me? God's billboard.
Yes. So mine is global. For some reason, it's global. So at this point, it will be very edifying if now I rewatch the whole CTA again, but now with that light of global. Because at that time, you think global, I was begging my landlord, Aki guys, send us 7 cheese. Lakini nalipo Saturday, ndo hii message ya bossy. You get? So you think I was thinking global. I was thinking next meal. But now I'm thinking global. Any global people watching? Yeah, so any other question, Richard? This is supposed you're not supposed to do this to me.
I'm done with my I'm glad that it had an impact for you. The whole reason why I bothered to package those stories. So thank you to Kendi for agreeing to come to CTA.
Yeah, this is the result.
Yes, if it wasn't for you, I probably would have never met Meg.
True. Very true, actually.
Clack it!
Clack it!
Clack it! By the way, you said thought. It's thought.
Bruh. You know,
It's not a thought leader. Who's a thought leader?
dealing with millennials is one thing. Dealing with Barbie millennials is a whole other pandemic. And we were doing the mic check and then somebody is here. Mic checkity check. Baba watoto. Mic checkity check. So now, that's why I said it's a money problem. Nyinyi watu wa Brave ndio mnajua thought. Sisi we say Thursday. It's a the.
Okay.
Thayo.
It's okay.
Thegio.
Potato, it's all the same. Bora to tengenezewe chips.
It is well. Okay, we have come to the very ceremonious end of this. This? How do you say this?
I just say it.
This episode, because now I'm very conscious about my because I don't know. It is well. So we come to the ceremonious end of this episode. Paule, these are the Allah Aizo. Shout outs to our main man Aizo. Anyway, if you have any thoughts, what did Kendi's episode do for you? What was the impact? Any questions that you have, any commentary, but please don't msini cross, especially if nilikuwa nakuwa vulnerable. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen. CTA Next Gen.